Hey guys, happy Tuesday. So I am going to just dive right on into this because I really want to get right to the call. Hey girl, how are you? Okay, I'm going to mute everybody here real quick. You can unmute yourself though, just letting you know. Okay, so I'm super excited about this. There is going to be a lot that you can actually do. So it's a lot of action stuff actually through this. But I kind of got this after listening to, again, Dash to Diamond training that we're in right now, and just really trying to share that with you girls, so that when you're ready to kind of like launch and, run with all of this, you know what to do, you're feeling confident, and you can just kind of like sit down and be efficient. So we're going to talk a little bit about March. I'm actually going to share with you guys my calendar, and sort of just at the end, I'm going to do a quick little idea as far as sending an invite, sending a follow-up, and whatnot. More than that, guys, though, just knowing that you need to be inviting people to, you're talking to people. That's really all that this is. So don't get too hung up on like what exactly to say. Just really just speak from your heart. That's really what we're going to dive into. So we're going to be talking about your why. We're going to be talking about your vision, and we're going to be talking about self-love. Okay, so first thing I want to talk about is your why power. So I know that we hear this all the time, and it's just at this point kind of like it doesn't carry the meaning that it needs to. It doesn't carry the weight that it should anymore. And it's something that your why is, for most coaches, that thing that makes you feel guilty for not showing up, right? And so much of that is just that you haven't dug deep enough yet to really ask yourself, like, why do I want to do this? Why is it important to me that I'm living on this island? Why is it important to me that I'm bringing Ben home from work? It's not just that I want to bring Ben home, but I saw like my parents, work so hard their whole lives and like never really get to hang out except at nighttime. It's so much deeper than just wanting him to be home. There's a reason behind it. And when you can attach your why to that emotion, it has so much more of a weight to it. Okay, so just really ask yourself, like, why is this why going to be more important to me than on the days where I just want to be lazy or where I don't feel like showing up, or worse than that, when it's I want to show up, but I'm nervous, I'm afraid, I feel like I'm going to fail, I'm going to say the wrong thing, somebody's going to be mean, whatever. Okay, so your why is really important to have as a business owner, especially somebody who's on social media and who's building a business. Okay, because social media, guys, I mean, it is just a free-for-all as far as comparing ourselves to absolutely every single person out there in the world. And so it can be really overwhelming, right? And more than that, you can get kind of sucked up in looking at these other coaches and feeling like they're doing something that you don't, or they know something that you don't know. And in reality, what it's coming down to is just, it finally clicked. This just went from being like that hobby that maybe that, oh, well, I'll just kind of like dabble in it. Like, I don't want to set too high goals because I don't want to like let myself down, or it's not that important to me. Like, this was never plan A, so it doesn't really matter if it doesn't work out. Like, this is such an incredible opportunity. And when you really think about the fact that you have something in your hands that's encouraging you to live the healthiest, happiest version of you, but then more than that, it's going to reward you by giving you everything you've ever desired. But you just have to get clear about what it is that you desire. And you have to believe that you can actually have it. Okay, so one thing that's always been something in my head, I've noticed that I don't say this out loud a lot, and I think it's because I don't actually believe that I could have it. But when I studied abroad in France, there were just these yachts everywhere. And it was just, to me, the coolest thing ever. Like, nothing like too insane, but just I really would love to have a boat. And it sounds so weird sometimes to say that because I don't want to sound, superficial or materialistic or, anything like that. But I just love being outside. I love being on the water. And I just think it'd be so cool to have a boat and have all my friends, my family there. And my dad loves boats and all these things. So like, that is a huge part of my why. And it goes deeper than I want a boat. I want to bring my family out into this lifestyle. I want to give back to my parents because they worked so hard, but for most of their lives, they just kind of spun their wheels in place. So they worked so hard, but they never really got where they could have potentially gone. And I just think it's because for most people, their why is just put food on the table, put a roof over the head, and just pay for college. And I don't know about you, but I just want so much more than that. And I want to be able to give so much more than that. Okay, so that's why it's important to have a why, because it can be very easy to compare ourselves to other people. And you just have to remember that this is all yours. Everything that you want is completely and totally up to you. Doesn't matter how many people say no, how many people don't respond. It's just, are you just going to keep talking to more people? Okay? So the coolest thing too is that your why is totally unique. That is your superpower, and that's what you should use as leverage in building your business and finding your tribe. Because I can't tell you how many people I've connected with who have previously connected with another coach, and it never really got further than just the conversation of, oh, you're with Beachbody or an MLM. So basically what happened was I've had people say to me, I just kind of connect with you a little bit more than the girl that I originally talked to. And so it really just comes down to people are here for different reasons. There have been many people that I've met before who I'm like, you'd be a great coach, but like we have nothing in common kind of deal. So the coolest thing about you sharing your why and knowing your why is that you can find your people. Okay, so let's just take like 2 to 3 minutes here real quick where you actually like write down why you said yes to this opportunity. Okay, so get as detailed as you possibly can, and I'm going to do the exact same thing. So get detailed, be selfish, say anything that you could possibly think of and pretend like nobody was reading this other than like you're the closest person to you. Okay. So, Hannah, do you just want to share yours?
So I first started with like a more global perspective probably, and then made it a little bit more personal as like time went on. So first off, I kind of said, it's always been centralized around financial freedom. And then there's like 3 parts of what that actually means to me. And one of them is being able to give back to the people around me and in the community that I live in. So that means, for my family, for, if there's like, I don't know, a local charity or something, or if there's someone that is struggling within the community, I can help that person. And then I dug a little deeper, and it's also about, wanting to experience the world and have an opportunity to actually fall in love with it. And that to me means traveling and getting to experience some of these places and really just, I think, learn more about the culture and the communities. And I don't know, that to me is exciting. And then I put underneath here, I said that I don't want to have to pinch pennies just to get by or live a mediocre life. And if I can achieve it, I deserve it.
I love it. So we're going to talk a lot more about it. So I love that you wrote all of that out. Yeah, that was really good. So, and that's your story. So when you and I are talking all the time, like the one thing I just want to say is just share that. The more that you share that, like everyone sometimes we can get so caught up in overthinking. It's like, I need to be positive and inspiring. And like, I want people to like me. Like, but when you just talk like you just did to me, that's going to hit home to so many people. And people are going to start looking at you differently. They're going to look at you from not just being like an inspiration to them, but they're going to look at you like somebody that they can join, and that's somebody who's creating a movement. Does that make sense? Awesome. So for me, I started coaching because, no joke, I legit just wanted to be that total girl boss. I wanted to work on my computer. I wanted to travel the world. I wanted to be on social media. I wanted a movement. I wanted to create a tribe. And I want to publish a book, and I want to speak publicly, and I just want to have an impact. I just want to know that like I was here and I made a difference. I just like can't imagine going through life and like, it's not wanting people to know me, but it's knowing that I left my footprint. So more than that, like I guess my superficial thing is I totally want to live on an island, and I want to be $1 million earner. That number doesn't have like necessarily any significant value to me, other than it's something that my dad's family talks about all the time, and just something that they always just make me and my sister kind of feel like we're the black sheep of the family, because we just kind of had odd jobs since we graduated from college. And it's so typical of my dad because he was the hippie in the family too. So no surprise, his girls are doing this, and it's just annoying. So like, it would be really cool just to say like, haha to you. And I did it on the internet, something that you bash all the time too. And more than that, like I do want Ben to retire. I want to travel the world with him, and I want other girls to do that too. Like, I just think that it's so awesome when you find somebody that you want to spend the rest of your life with, because we live in a day and age where not a lot of people have that these days. And so I think that when you do, it just sucks that you have to spend more than half of your life working away from them just to keep like the roof over both of our heads. And it's just not something that I'm willing to give up. So we're going to, go with that through the rest of the call. So how do you stay focused on your why? So obviously everybody's different, but I just want to share a few of the things that at least work for me. So one of them is talking about it all the time. Okay? What happens is sometimes we start to doubt ourselves, and we feel like, well, if we don't talk about it, then it won't make us feel guilty that we're not there yet, or we don't have it. And I'm still thinking about it, but like, it's okay that it's not happening right now. We talk ourselves out of the urgency of how much we want it, right? And so when you talk about it all the time, you're manifesting that. Whether it is God or the universe or whoever you believe in listening, they are listening. The thing is just as long as you're talking about it and thinking about it and acting on it, right? You have to act on it too. Those things will happen. They will happen, and your why will come to life, and then you're going to have a new why, and it's just going to continue to change and grow as you grow and change. So how do you share your why? And always just like stop me and ask me if you have any questions. So sharing your why now is like super important. So that's another big part of how do you stay focused on it, is if you're talking about it, not just out loud to yourself, like in your gratitude journal or in your daily affirmations. So certain things that I say are like, 10 or more awesome women join the Fit Coast tribe every single month, and they're loving it and hustling for their dreams. Like, I can literally see it. They're so happy to be a part of our team, and I'm so grateful to have them a part of our tribe. It's something I just repeat to myself over and over and over again. I say I'm a 5-star elite coach, okay, and actually know what these terms mean, so that the biggest thing is that these terms, think of them as being like general manager, district manager. Like, your significant other would be proud of you for achieving these advancements in these ranks if it were in corporate America. But it's just they hear them more often, so they have a better understanding of it. The salary is a little bit easier to understand, whereas there's so many multiple streams of income as a coach. but that's exciting. Don't be afraid of it. Don't be afraid of it. Yes, it's overwhelming in the beginning. But you just gotta just be like, okay, we're just gonna pour ourselves a glass of wine. We're gonna spend 30 minutes and we're just gonna power through this. And we're probably not gonna understand it. So then we're just gonna drink more wine tomorrow and do this again. And then eventually you just kind of start to pick it up and figure it out. And then your confidence builds, right? And then when your confidence builds, you just start talking about your why more and more and more and more. And then when that is now happening, what happens then is that you just want to start to share it with people because you start to notice that it's happening. Your daily efforts, the small little actions that you're taking are compounding every day. And because of that, you want to just share that with the world because you're excited about it. And you see like, okay, I'm bringing people in, I'm making a little bit more money, they're having fun, and now they're making money. And trust me, it's fun making money, but it's even more fun when your coaches make money. And it's so weird because like I would never normally say that, but it's just like such a cool feeling that you taught somebody how to do something and they did it and now they're doing it themselves. And now they're teaching people. So how do you share it? Every day in your stories, guys. So even if you do need the reminder, that's fine. But I will show you this. I literally just have a piece of paper that says Monday through Friday. And at the top, it just says stories. And all I have written are vitals every day. And then I just have my pre-workout and what is that? And my Shakeology, even though that's like basically what it was anyway. Just like making sure that I put that stuff down. Okay. And now every day I just make sure that I have why am I working out and why am I coaching? So if you're somebody like me that likes to plan, what I did for Monday, since it's like kind of Man Crush Monday, I talked about why is being Ben. Okay. So I talked about that. So I'm not talking about everything every single day, just one thing a day so that you connect with that one person that's watching your stories. Guys, the one thing I can say is in this business, and I've seen it firsthand, you know, at random times, but definitely with other people who are like really doing well right now, is this business does not require you to find hundreds of coaches. You just need to find 2 to 3 people that are just like you, teach them how to build this business, and then they're going to do the same thing. The whole idea is building deep, not building that, like you don't have to build wide. All right. So on Tuesday, so like today, tonight I'm going to talk a little bit more about my eating disorder. So it's kind of like Transformation Tuesday. So I'm going to talk about that. Then tomorrow I'm going to talk about just my tribe, my coaching fam, instead of how personal training was very competitive. Whereas with this, it's kind of like we all want to help each other. Thursday, I'm going to talk about traveling because that's a huge part of my why. I'm going to talk about how we're going to Mexico as an earned trip. So all these things like weaving in coaching. And the reason I write this down is I'm in the habit now of sharing my vitals every day. But I do sometimes forget to talk about coaching. I do sometimes forget what I've talked about. Like earlier in the week, like it comes Thursday, I'm like, what the hell did I talk about on Monday in my stories? So this way I can like at least keep track of it. So I know I'm not talking about the same thing like every other day. And I'm wondering why is everyone not joining me, you know? So map a little thing out if you want to. So that's one way that you can share it, obviously just in your posts every single day. It doesn't have to be anything crazy, but people want to know why you're doing this. They want to, that's all they want to know. Is they follow you, you're positive, you're inspiring, yay, they got it. But now they want to know, so what didn't you like about your life, or what needed to change, or what did you want more of? Because if you're somebody that wants more of like, you know, family time, then the girl who's like, you know, has no intentions of having kids, you know, isn't going to really look at you and think like, oh, I want to join her, right? So sharing your why is going to eliminate the people that are not meant to be on this journey with you and find the people that are. So this is a big thing that I'm excited about. So again, get out your pen. We're just going to spend 1 minute doing this, nothing crazy. And I want you guys to write down what distracts you from showing up to your work. Okay, like all of the reasons. So this can be like, you know, being honest with yourself and saying, you know what? I could probably wake up 30 minutes earlier, but I just don't want to. Or I've convinced myself that at like 25, I need to have 8 hours of sleep instead of working for my dreams. I didn't get 8 hours of sleep in college, Okay, like I don't need to have it right now when I'm actually working towards something I want and not just a piece of paper that my parents threatened me to get. So think about that stuff if that's your goal. Okay, so we're gonna start writing now. Things like Netflix, boyfriend time. Okay, so I'll share mine real quick first. Ben, definitely, because we have the flexibility to hang out, but I'm like, I want the freedom though. So that, or him, Netflix, the comparison game. I'll see, in the Boom fam that somebody has like 60 Success Club points, and I'm just like, okay, but then I have to be honest with myself. I have not put in anywhere near half the work to have 60 Success Club points. Fear and doubt, what's the point? What's one message going to make a difference? That kind of stuff. And honestly, just burning myself out, trying to do too much in one day, and then being like tired the next morning and kind of sleeping in, and then just letting this anxiety kind of take over. So those are like my distractions. Like that's what kind of stops me from like not getting on my computer. What about you? Do you want to share? You don't have to.
No, it's okay. Definitely Taylor. The TV, cleaning. I use cleaning as an excuse. Sleeping in, like making sure that I get that 8 hours, because in my mind, like sleeping is super important or I crash. My family, actually, I'll use as an excuse. I'll say, oh, I have to help my mom, or I have to do this. And then I'll like be at my parents' house way too long, scrolling on my phone. Like I'll get distracted, or scrolling on the computer. I'll get distracted. Sometimes reading.
Okay.
I will prefer reading on top of like actually doing my business, which is probably why I'm going into library science, but whatever. And then I always wonder if I'm actually cut out for it. If I have the drive, or if I have the passion to do something like this, because it's so not my character. And now I've made it my character. So I constantly kind of battle with that.
I love everything that you said, and how do I want to word this? I totally see you going so far with this, because I just see so much of you in Melanie Mitro. And with her being the number one coach in the company, that's definitely a compliment. But I listen to her podcast all the time. I follow her really closely just because she's from Pittsburgh and she lives in Pittsburgh. So it's just kind of like close to home. But she's amazing, and she was so much like you. Not the fit girl at all. Very like just reserved and just independent. Didn't need anybody, but was always the dependable one, if that makes sense. So it was when she decided, like, I just need to do something for me. I'm just kind of like losing myself, and I just feel like I'm just kind of go. And I'm afraid to sometimes stop. And so when she did, she realized, like, wow, I've really not been paying attention to me. So I think that one of my favorite things so far that you've done is that you dove straight into the personal development side of this, which is where most coaches do struggle. So I think it's super important that you did that, or it's awesome that you did that, and that you are making that an effort every day. Other than that, it's just taking action. It's saying to yourself, well, I don't know what to share when somebody says, like, yes, they're interested. And it's having the confidence to go into the Boom Fam and posting, hey guys, just curious, like, what do you say when somebody says to you, blah, 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 blah? And knowing that they're there for a reason. And you can always ask questions like that. And the more that you do, the more people will like tag you in something and be like, hey girl, good job for getting on the leadership board or something. And it's something
I think
that's what brings you in this. What'd you say?
I was just going to say, for me, it's funny you mentioned that, because I'm definitely like, and this probably is more goes like into how I was raised and my relationship with my mother. Because you know how like people have like daddy issues? Well, I have mommy issues. And it definitely resonates from the fact that like I've always wanted to figure it out on my own. Like, she's not the type of person to like walk you through it. She's not going to give you step-by-step instructions. Like sometimes, certain things in our life, like we were just thrown into and we had to figure out. So I think a lot of times, like I see asking for help, or I see like admitting weakness or not being the best or whatever as like failure. And I have to get more comfortable with that specific thing, because I know that it happens and I know that it occurs. I'm just not very vocal about it.
And I think too that the hardest struggle is that there can be a million 5-star diamond coaches. It's just for some reason, because we've been raised to be her against her, him against him. It's just like that's how it is. And like, it's a competitive school. You need to have competitive grades. You need to have this in order to get this kind of job. And like, it's just ranked. And the coolest part is that the biggest difference between the people that are at the top, it's just that they share everything about their lives. So like right now, why I know so much about these other coaches is the simple fact that they share it all the time. It's not like I've had these one-on-one conversations with them. It's that they just share their story constantly so people know them or feel like they know them. You want people to feel like they're already your friend, so that when you reach out, you don't have to have this whole long, hey, hope you're having a great day. Like, just go on Instagram. No, just be like, hey, girl, I was just thinking about you today. No idea what you're up to this spring, but I would love to hold each other accountable to some goals before summer rolls around. Would you be interested in trying out this new workout plan that I'm doing? Just to be able to confidently hop in and just ask somebody as if they're your friend. It makes this not seem weird. And just think like this is just a job. Like, you get to act like you're not soliciting people. You're literally sharing your journey and asking people to be a part of it with you. That's why it's so important that you're sharing and not just inviting, right? People need to see it both sides. Okay, so let's do this real quick, and then we are going to move on a little bit quickly. So for 1 minute, I want you guys to write down, where do you want to be in 1 year from now? So 1 year from today. Yes. Do you want to be in the same apartment? Do you want to be in the same state? Dream big, because a lot can happen in 1 year. Fun fact, I didn't have a chance to post it yet, but Ashley Fodison posted this in our Diamond Dash group. It was an image of her team and their Success Club points from this month last year and this month this year. This month last year, she had 5 coaches plus herself, so 6 people total hitting Success Club. Ashley Fodison had 9 points. Okay? Yeah. Right. So you're going to dream big. So she had 9 Success Club points and 5 coaches with Success Club, like lower than 5. This year, she has over 30 coaches hitting Success Club, and she's at Success Club 60. 60. Ashley's moved twice in that time. Her sister struggles with drug issues and stuff. She has a lot of family things going on too. What else was I going to say? It's just, and it's just, she made a commitment, and we're going to talk about that later on, but dream big. So write it down. Okay. So I'll share super quick. I want to be a 12-star diamond this time next year. The end of the year, my push goal is to be a 10-star. I'll settle for 8, but I want to be a 10-star diamond by the end of the year, which means that I know that by end of February, I'll be able to build 2 more diamonds. So I want to be a 12-star diamond by this time next year. I want Ben to be retired. I want to have a brand new Jeep. I really want a Jeep Wrangler. I want to be living in Hawaii. And I want to have paid off about $10,000 of my student loan debt. What about you? You can do this.
Okay. I said in a year, I want to be matching my current income. So I think that's about probably a 3-star diamond.
Yeah.
I think so. And have my library science master's. I want to be able to work in a library and pay off my loans because Beachbody is bringing in money for me.
I love it. I want you to write that down every day. I want you to write that down every day. Or even just something as simple as like print out a bunch of copies of it and just like keep a little bit in your pocket. You know, little things like that. Just so that you have that tiny little reminder. Okay, awesome. Okay, so now we're going to talk about your vision. So I think this kind of like breaks up into 4 different things as far as the power behind your vision. So you have to see it, you got to believe it, but then you have to share, and then you have to connect over it. Okay, so to see your vision, guys, like that is actually taking a minute or 2 minutes a day, closing your eyes, yes, getting all hippy-dippy and weird on it, but actually picturing the life you want to be living. Because if you can see it, it can exist. You just have to believe that. Okay, so for example, like I do picture what my island's gonna look like. I can picture exactly what I want my house to look like. Okay, just like on the water, I can picture the 2 dogs. I totally want to have like 4 to 5 kids. I can picture all of it. And I think about it all the time. And it's because of that that I just won't stop until it happens. That there are days I'm like, oh, this is taking too long, or oh, I just want to give up. Like, no one is joining me, whatever. And then I'm like, you know what, Emily, but you're not sharing enough. You're not painting the vision enough. Like, the things that I am like, oh my God, I want so badly. Does everyone else know how badly I want them? Like, I want to paint the vision for them too. I want them to see what I can see so that when I make it happen, they're like, oh shit, this was what that thing that she was talking about. And like, she's doing it now, or she's living it now. Okay. But it's more than just seeing it. Okay. You just can't picture and be like, okay, I did my visions, right? You have to believe that it's possible. And that belief comes from getting on team calls. 150%, guys. Especially like right now, as there's a few of us just jumping on these, it's so important that you get on a Team Boom call. Like, I can't stress that enough. Tonight's call, Kate Morgan being on this, she's been a coach for like 6 months and she's a 1-star diamond. She's at Success Club 42 right now. You know, she's insane and on fire. Like, this is the type of people that you need to surround yourself with. Don't just pin the Pinterest quote that says, you are the sum of the 5 people you spend most of your time with. Like, actually surround yourself with the people that are doing what you're doing and have what you have. I used to get jealous of this, seeing these people and comparing myself to them and thinking they had something I didn't. But then the other day, I just read this quote in a book and it just hit me at that perfect time. And I realized that I am so effing blessed that I have these kinds of people in my life, because the fact that they're so close to me and I can just reach out and message them, like any of us could reach out to Kate Morgan and be like, hey girl, like this is crazy, but you know, I'm on Team Boom too, and I'm on Emily Crawshaw's team, or, you know, I'm just blah, 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 I'm Hannah, and I just been following you and I think you're awesome. Like, would you be open to just a phone call sometime? Like, just to pick your brain, just sort of like talk to you one-on-one. It would mean a lot to me. She would just be like, oh my God. She'd probably cry and just be so happy because she's like the sweetest person. Okay, so it's just that you have to believe that, and that comes from team calls. It comes from getting to events. Super Saturdays, they're every quarter. It's just coaches coming together, playing games, talking about new products, trainings. Like, it's fun, and it's like 2 hours on a Saturday afternoon in your hometown. Like, it's so cool. There's Summit, right? And beyond Summit, guys, there's the Success Club trips. It's things like that that you need to be thinking about and talking to people about. Like, if you should be striving to get on the Success Club trip for 1,045 reasons. It's an earned trip by you just doing your job. You're getting paid and then you make a free trip. Like, it's just craziness. But more than that, it's going to show the people that are closest to you that are like, is this legit? When they get to go on it with you for free because you earn it for you plus one. When they get to go on it, it all clicks. Okay, it's overwhelming to them because they're like, holy crap, like this online thing just turned into like this whole person thing. But that's also too why people start to believe you more. All you're talking, they actually see you going to events, being around people. They're like, oh, this girl isn't just signing up for this for 2 weeks and quitting. She's like actually trying to do this. And that's all that difference. And so now you have to share it. Okay, so share that vision. What you just pictured, what you close your eyes and see, talk about it. Take bits and pieces from it every day and sprinkle them into your posts. You don't have to take the whole thing and just word bomb it every day, but take like one thought that you had and then compare it to either your past and where you're going, or just talk about where you're going. Talk about why you're here right now. Why are you showing up today? Just one little nugget. Because when you can do that and people scroll through, it's like just a little hit to the heart every single time. They just start to wake up a little bit more to what's possible. But more than that, guys, you have to connect with them. Okay, so lately I've been talking about Hawaii nonstop. Okay, and because of that, I've been using hashtags, and I had to Google Hawaii hashtags because I don't know what they're using. And so I Googled that, and now I know like what people that I would hang out with are using that live in Hawaii. And so now I'm just connecting with them. Like, hey girl, yeah, like I found you searching hashtag high life, and I've been talking to my boyfriend a lot about how I just feel like I'm supposed to live in Hawaii, and I just want to make it happen. I want to go. So like, tell me about it. Where do you live? How are you from there? Whatever. I'm talking to her about my vision. And then it's simply just going to be like, honestly, I never thought this show, typically I get the question, so what made you want to move to Hawaii? Like, honestly, I never thought it was possible. And then I started this whole coach thing, and just like a lot of things have happened, and I don't know, I just dreamed big and I'm excited to do it. That is how you make a friend. So let's just take 1 minute to write down a bunch of things, places, foods, colors, personalities, a bunch of random stuff that sticks out to you on social media. So when you're scrolling through social media, what stops you? What do you see on other people's page? Is it a fitness post? Is it a travel post? Is it a significant other post? Is it an animal post? Is it, what colors stick out to you? Is it their captions? Are they short? Are they long? Do they have a lot of selfies? What does their filter look like? What does their bio look like? Look at all of that stuff. And what makes you feel like I want to be her, or I want to be her friend? Okay. Okay, so just super quick. So I have things like I like to have bright colors. So things that I really like are oranges and teals and pinks and things that are very tropical looking. I stop at travel photos, no matter where they are, whether it's 6 inches or 60 inches of snow or it's, palm trees. I stop at cats and dogs. I stop at like animal sanctuary photos. So like people that are like in safe, controlled areas that are, your places. People that have the van life. People who like anything that looks very like magical and whimsical and adventurous. What else do I have? Like to seek and to wonder, and people who are fun-loving and confident. Like those are the things that I stop and look at. So those are certain kinds of hashtags I'm going to use, no matter what the post is, because I want people to connect with me based on my personality, not based on my workout. So Hannah, what do you have as a few things?
I think I have to think about this more.
Do your thing. But this is one of those things where, so now you can really start using your hashtags and just add a few more. You've gotten the consistent part down.
Because I have Zen, like I like a lot of things that are Zen, animals, imagery, nature. I like photography. Like I tend to like pay more attention to like people if they're, if they've like spent a lot of time like on a photo. Also, like I do like to look, I'd spend time looking at like if people have kids, like I will actually stop and like, cause I'm a teacher. So it's, it touches me to see parents actively, living in their child's life. I don't know what else.
So I want to share a suggestion then for you as far as connecting. And this is something that I would love to do. Like we need to just set up one-on-one calls weekly to do like little trainings together since we have the time right now. But like you could totally scroll like anything with, like you should have like at least 10 hashtags that have teacher in them. I know that you don't think that that's you, but how many people are teachers right now that don't feel like that for them?
Yeah.
Right? So you have to, look at Ashley Feldyson.
Right.
Okay, so even Brooke Reed, who was the guest speaker today, highly encourage you to look at that video, especially with Taylor. Don't get overwhelmed with that group. Just set time aside. The videos are like only 30 minutes.
Okay.
It's super awesome because it is Ashley Feldyson. She's the number one coach in our team right now. Like, it'd be silly not to take advantage of her trainings. But we're just going to go with that. But talking to teachers and just reaching out and just being like, I don't want to make this, I totally don't want to make this weird, but I was just, scrolling through, hashtag teacher life or something like that, or mom life. And I just want to let you know how much it means to me to see so much love in your photos with your family. It's just nice to know that as a teacher, we get to send these kids that we care about home to like such loving environments or something like that.
Okay.
However you want to word it in your own wording, but just, talking to them. So now let's just talk about like, how do you strengthen this vision? So very much like how we were talking about strengthening your whys, creating vision boards, having fun with it, having a bulletin board, making it your computer background. All right. Before you go to bed, before you hop on your computer or do anything on your phone and let the world shape your day, close your eyes and envision the life that you woke up for today. Don't wake up and think, traffic, gotta get dressed, gotta go to work, it's fucking cold. Don't think any of that stuff. Just even if you still want to lay in bed, just close your eyes and think about, where do I want to be 1 year from now? And just think about it so hard and then get up and slay the effing day. Okay? So also talking about it, but again, like going back to the why, guys, is you've got to believe it because the universe knows when you're faking that shit. It knows when you're like, I'm doing this, I'm doing this, I'm doing this, and you're like sitting on the couch. Like, no, don't lie to yourself. I think there's so much strength and power in being able to say, I'm not doing what I need to do. And that's what's overwhelming me. I'm not overwhelmed by what I have to do. I'm overwhelmed by the fact that I'm not doing it and I'm procrastinating. To be honest, that's honestly what's happening. Okay? So just share it. Just work for this. People are going to feel your energy. They're going to feel in every single one of your posts. They're going to feel the stuff that even says like, oh my God, I woke up today and I just didn't want to get out of bed. Like I had no energy today. I just didn't want to do it. But I did it because I'm not just here for me anymore. If I was just here for me, I wouldn't be posting on social media. I'm here for you too. So to say things like that, they're going to feel that. They're going to feel that. So no, it wasn't doing 10 cartwheels this morning to breakfast, but it's, here I am. I'm not, whatever. So we already did that one, right? So what is the new one? Okay. So let's talk about self-love for a minute. Guys, just your vitals. So if you were listening, or for those of you who were in the Diamond Dash group, Amy Silverman is really big on your vitals. Like, it is the one thing she's like, at the end of the day, you're a health and fitness coach. If you want to talk about crystals and, macros and, travel, that's great. But at the end of the day, you're a health and fitness coach. And that's what has to be led with. So even if you don't, I don't think that, like she said, that you have to share a video every day, a workout video. I don't think that's true. But you definitely should be showing it in your stories every day, even on the weekends. Okay? It takes 2 seconds, film the whole workout, and then put the clips in later. Or do your workout first for you, and then just go back and take, 4 videos of it using Instagram. All right? But this is something, too, to be honest with yourself. I love that Ashley Faldyson asked this. Rate your nutrition and your fitness on a scale of 1 to 10. And I can say that my nutrition is a hard 7. And it's been a hard 7 for a long time. I would say that my fitness is a solid 9. I can work out most days of the week and be okay. My nutrition is kind of like where I go back and forth. It's something I struggle with, but to be honest, I don't really care about it. I don't think I'm that unhealthy. So, like, the things I do indulge in, I don't feel guilty about anymore. Hannah, yeah, I think that's a good spot. So the one thing, guys, I'll say is the more kick-ass you are in your own fitness journey, the more people are going to join you. Hands down, the coaches that are here and that are rocking this came from a challenge group. Ashley Faldyson, Cassie Schmelzinger, Ashley Dyer, Kate Morgan, my coach Amy Reelman. They all came from a challenge group. Okay? So if you rock your health and fitness and you show that this stuff works, we're going to join you. Okay? And then from there, just show up to the group yourself because of your own accountability and just have fun with them too. All right? But more than that, just be as you as much and as unapologetically as you possibly can. If you want to swear, go ahead. If you want to share your Bible verses, go ahead. It doesn't matter who you are and why you're here. All that matters is that you're willing to share it. Okay? So this is something I want to ask you guys. So let's just take 1 minute, just super quick. But this was something that I got from the GoPro event in November. What do you have to offer your clients, your team, your tribe that makes you different? Why should someone join you? Okay? And talk about your vision. Like, where are you going? Why are they going to be successful if they work with you? Okay, so real quick, so what do I offer people is I offer travel freedom. It's not just the ability to go on a vacation. I don't want to just go on a vacation. I want to travel the world. Okay, and I offer that to people. I offer them the ability to create a life where they can do that, where they can spend as much time with their family as they want, yet having the financial ability to hire a nanny. Having really great health and wellness, not just physical health, but just like happiness, joy, energy with their family and their friends. Self-love, so not hating themselves, being able to break free of any eating disorders and, body image issues. Having more time, whether that's time for themselves, times to fill up, other people's cups, time to volunteer, time to pursue other passions and hobbies. Having a purpose. I want to help women have a purpose, greater than just having a family. And what makes me different is that I'm passionate. I'm determined. I will not ever quit. I believe in this. I believe in the product. I believe in these groups. I believe in us. I believe in people if they have a good work ethic and they're willing to, work hard. And more than that, my why means too much to me to ever stop. So just think about that stuff. Okay, so last one is, I love this quote, and I got this from Soulful Simplicity. It was a random ass book that I found in Barnes & Noble on this clearance rack, but it was amazing. So I love that she says, living the way I was living was difficult, but at least I knew how to do it. And it's so true. We'd rather just like, well, I know the struggle, so whatever. I'm used to it. Like, this is my luck. This is all I'm going to have, whatever. And it's so true that like we're more afraid of leaving the good to go for the great. Because that's the thing, guys. It doesn't have to be awful. It doesn't have to be awful. The life that you're living now. It could be good, but that's it. Just good. Because you have to think about it this way, is that when you choose good, think about your children. What are they going to probably choose because you just chose good? They're just going to choose good too. And to me, I want to be the rare people who, because most people who do go on and do like, something like we're doing, like building a business from the ground up, most of us do come from parents who were just, average employees. But I want to be the difference. I want to be the mom that helped her children start a small business from a young age. Okay, so just know that yes, it's going to be uncomfortable to grow. You have to grow first. Okay, if you don't know how to recruit people, then those are the things that you should be doing, is YouTubing how to recruit people, how to share the coaching opportunity, Beachbody on YouTube, things like that. So that one, you're taking that first step. So now what happens is you start recruiting people. And then you start watching videos on, okay, how to get a coach started right. And then you start doing that. And then what happens is they start doing that. And it seems hard at first, but it's only because you don't know it. But just because you don't know it doesn't mean it's not hard. All right? So love yourself enough to plan ahead so that you can enjoy the moments in between. So many of us stress about the future, but it's just because we have it all jumbled up in our head. Get it out of your head and put it on paper. Put it on a computer. Put it in your phone. Wherever you want to keep track of stuff. Just get it out of your head so that you can just focus on the things that you need to do on your to-do list, rather than all the things that you kind of remember but can't quite remember. And just think about it this way. You're doing it now because you love yourself. You want yourself to feel less stress. You want yourself to have a smooth, free-flowing week, right? That's why you're doing it. Not because you feel you have to or anything like that. And then just my favorite thing from Beachbody is their slogan, decide, commit, succeed. So for anybody who is reading You Are Badass or who has, I love like the second page in the entire book. You have to go from wanting to change your life to deciding to change your life. And it's just as simple as that. You can keep talking about how you want it, and you can keep making up reasons why you can't, and the fear and the whatnot. Or you can just say, but I'm just going to try anyway. I'm going to be scared, but I'm going to invite. I'm freaking petrified of this person, but I'm going to invite her anyway. I have no idea if this is the right Hey Girl message to send, but I'm just going to send it and see if it works. And if it does, I'm going to copy and paste it to the next person. And that's just how you need to go about this. But of course, always remember to enjoy a donut. And let's set some goals for March. So I'm going to share my calendar. I can actually just show you guys super quick. It's listed right here. But I have listed when I'm going to post call to actions, when I'm sending invites, when groups are starting, and when I want to hit certain goals by. Okay? So just real quick off the top of my head to share with you guys. I have a free group starting March 12th. Next challenge group starts March 19th. Bear with me. And then a sneak peek starts the 28th. So I'm saying March 12th for the challenge group so that everyone is ordered by then and ready to go for the 19th. Okay? But I'm going to be running a free group on the 12th. I already have planned out when I'm going to make the content for these. So since I have the free group starting on the 12th, I actually have it planned for this coming weekend. So 2 weeks ahead of time, I'm going to make the content for that group. It's not going to be anything crazy, but why am I making the content? So that in the future, I love myself enough to make content for this group instead of just winging it. So that in the future, if I want to run another free group like this one, I can just copy and paste it. It's already made. Okay? More than that, I can make a how-to guide. And so when I have new coaches joining and they say things to me like, hey, I'm thinking about running a free group. How do I do that? Oh, I have a how-to guide on how to run a free group. So just planning ahead for yourself. So I'm going to be running a free group about traveling and fitness because Ben and I have a bunch of travels coming up. I mean, this is like my number one why for coaching, and I totally don't talk about it enough. So that's why I'm going to be doing that. Okay. So then challenge group officially starts the 19th. Okay. But I'm going to open it up for prep week on the 14th. All right. So what that means is then I want to have the content for that group and the prep week done the second week of March. Again, so 2 weekends before. All right. So just giving yourself time to kind of just like do all this stuff. So planning ahead. That's the one thing all these top coaches say is that they plan out, they know when all their groups are going to start. They know when they're going to make the stuff for the group, like the cover photo. What day are they going to add everybody to the group? You know, how much time do people need to prepare for this stuff? That's really the difference, guys, is the more detailed and planned out you can get, the more you're just going to make this easier on yourself. Now, with that being said, don't reinvent the wheel. You could literally go to YouTube right now and watch a video on how to start a free group, how to run a free group, and they're going to attach links to Google documents on honestly how to do it. It's insane. Like there's so much stuff out there. You can go to Pinterest or to Google right now. So you just have to have the idea that you want to do a group or that you want to start something new, like an email list or a website or something, and then just Google or YouTube it. Okay? So I'm going to leave you guys on that. Thanks for jumping on. I will post the recording and the slideshow. Was that helpful? Awesome. Alrighty, girls.